Welcome to your third reading of the day. We've been, touching on some quite cosmic subjects around here, and I think it's really awakening people. Just you could say like the true placement, the true divine placement of everything that has taken effect, that has been in effect since the beginning of time for us to awaken to and figure out. And as I mostly do when I'm putting out these cards, and like I'm like starting the spread, I got a perfect divine message of in the Avatar movie, Aang saying, "Let it be your guide." So keep that in mind. Keep those words in mind. Let it be your guide. You are, again, the light and the void. Like you are the light in the void in the light, the nothingness in the starlight, right? And you have mixed those two to be this light shadow witch like sorcerer kind of thing. It's like you are a magical being, this light and shadow magical being, this void in the light with the light in that void. Isn't that a cool thing? Whoa, very cool. Um, as well as, again, we see it here, having that, like you are that twin serpent shadow sorcerer, that twin serpent shadow sorcerer that represents the moon, like full on. That is exactly. I know I talk about this show a lot, but like if I talk about a show, I promise you, it's because it did real spiritual work for me. Lloyd representing the moon, so many shots of him, like literally with the moon behind him. And again, he's like a perfect example of a twin serpent shadow sorcerer that represents the moon. Like you are the moon reflecting the perfect light of the sun, of Christ, right? And that's the thing. We descended here, right? We were not even just descended here, we were sent here to be this blossoming dragon. To be this blossoming dragon to take down the tenacity of the monarchs, like the tenacity of like the evil gods, you could say, like the dark gods. It's like the ones that truly have evil in their heart, even though they're gods, right? And you are like destroying that tenacity because you are this abyss dragon that can handle anything. Like even like your physical form can. That's what I'm hearing, like car message. Like you as this being that has ascended to godhood, you are this like abyss dragon to those like gods that again are like, they may be gods and goddesses, but they're like a lower frequency of it. So it's like they're not nearly as strong as you, right? Think of like again like Grim and Lloyd or Giton and Lloyd maybe. Um, Again, like we are like so much unfathomably more powerful than those like evil beings, right? So never forget that. And we use our tactics, right? How do we bring that tenacity? We use our tactics as that like abyss dragon that is like very shadow like and cool, but like you can tell like it is like the like it you have Christ within you, that kind of sense. You have spirit within you, you have God within you, right? And we use our tactics to bring down the tenacity of monarchs by letting people be in high spirit, branded in high spirit, so that they can evolve as well. Because again, joy being the catalyst of evolution, you like turn hell into heaven for people, and like people don't even realize that they were like creating hell, you could say, in their mind and their heart, and it's like you reverse that by keeping everyone in high spirits. If there's like is like evil gods or evil beings, like within this realm, you could say you are the one bringing down the tenacity of them, because you are not only this like infinitesimal powerful mana monster, right? But you are able to keep people in high spirits, and that's when they can't touch humans, even if they're like gods, right? Even if they're like these like beings, right? When someone is in high spirits, there's nothing they can do to like bring them down, to like touch them, you could say, like to keep like them in a state of spiritual poverty, honestly. And that's like getting like a double confirmation from that right after that, like full on, like that is exactly it. You are taking down the old gods, you could say, that are of evil, that like have not ascended. There's a reason that they're like still here. They don't even know how to ascend, right? And if they do, they're like trying everything they can to stop humans from doing so. Maybe it's like their job or something, right? Like like I don't judge, I don't care even, I'm not scared. That's that would never scare me, especially at this point of like who we really are. Again, like we are that abyss dragon that they're like what is this thing? Like, what is this thing in this abyss of this planet, you could say? And it's a beautiful abyss, as we talk about. But, you know, how do I say this? Like, you aren't this arch fiend anymore. Like, you be in denial of that. You aren't this, like, you know, you maybe, like, were an arch fiend with the cape of Christ at one point, but, like, you aren't that anymore. And funny enough, before, it was like, you know, be in denial. Like, of course, like, that, you know, that's still there. But maybe, okay, now I get it. Right? So you are this arch fiend. Let me correct that. You are this, like, arch fiend, right? You know, that you have, like, merged with your shadow. You have realized your infinite potential in shadow, right? Your mana is, like, infinite, you know, as shadow, you could say, right? And you have the cape of Christ on you. And again, be in denial of time. But I'm going to correct myself again from an earlier reading of, like, you know, don't let time be your guide. That's what, like, I did say that, but again, remember from the start of the reading, Aang said, let it be your guide, and that's being confirmed here. So it's like right after Time Engine came Virtuous Quem, Guiding Quem. So it's like actually let time be your guide. You can do you can do so much spiritual work in one day, but again, let time be your guide. If anything, you know, let spirit through time be your guide. Let you know, every day be your guide. Let the belief of a beautiful future be your guide. The belief in, like, the hope, right? Like, having hope for the future be your guide, and it will guide you. Like, you don't have to do everything now. You can, but you don't have to. I know we're all, like, very, like, you know, not only excitable people, but, like, when we hear things that resonate, it's like, oh, it's game on for this, like, you know, this level, you could say. But we don't have to, like, max 25 levels in a day. Like, but you can. You totally can. But, you know, again, like, you don't have to do it all right now. Let time be your guide, and Christ is really coming through to confirm that. And he's also saying that's how you wake up. You understand that time is your guide. It's not like a set thing. It's not like something to hurt us or age us. It's a guide. Whoa and wow and awesome, right? Like, that is, you know, again, when I, like, have to, like, look away, it's like Christ is, like, really, like, you know, with me being like, now you're doing it, kind of thing. 116 on the percentage, you know, Shinomiya's number, Kikuru's number, you could say, from Kaiju number 8, like, being top of your class, you could say. So, you know, that's how you wake up. That's how you wake up, and that's how you wake up knowing that time is your guide. That is how you wake up, knowing that time is a guide. Time is a guide, and, like, doubling down, guidance of force, like, doubling down from Christ saying that, doubling down on it being your guide, like, full on. And, you know, you're, like, being, how do I say this? Like, think of, like, Sinon, right? Think of Kirito being the light, and Sinon from Sword Art Online, in that arc at least, being the shadow. And, like, you know, you have both of these within you. You have, like, an assassin within you, right? And you also have this, like, light, gung-ho, like, you know, ready for anything, like, and, like, smiling through it, right? Smiling about it, even, you know, like Lloyd. And I think that we all could, like, learn that lesson, that time is a guide. Like, you know, I think that is, like, one of the greatest lessons that I could give on this channel, you know, from Spirit. That time is a guide. Time is not there to hurt you. Time is there as an engine, but it's also a guide. If anything, it is, like, the guide. Time being the guide. So, you know, this has been your reading. Thank you for being here. Thank you, you know, for loving the long ones and loving the short ones, and showing support along the way for each of them. Gonna go to the gym, so I will probably come back and, like, be in a way more hyper mindset. It's been, like, a very channeling heavy day with the interview and stuff. It's like I've just been talking all day. But here's the thing: whenever I do these readings and I, like, get out of it, I hear, like, you know, you have, like, beautiful chi. You have beautiful chi when you do that. When I'm, like, speaking, it's like, again, I'm speaking so much with the spirit, right? Like, in the spirit, that, like, I hardly, you know, like, when I'm speaking like this, like, you can tell just how vast my lung capacity is when I'm, like, you know, in the spirit. Like, I just need one of those breaths that I can talk for, like, you know, a minute straight. So that is what, you know, how do I say this? That is what being in the spirit really is. Like, when you're speaking in tongues, when you're, like, really preaching, you could say, when you're really talking about God, it's like you don't have to think about breathing. You, like, do that like passively, and like boom, like it is like you're again like you don't have to like have the necessity of breathing. If anything, you can talk for like I had talked for like an hour and 30 minutes in this sense, and have not like felt even a bit short of breath after. And if anything, God's like, you don't understand what that's doing for your body. It's like really good chi, like really good life force energy, right? Like it's better than me going out and like doing like an hour's worth of qigong. Like honestly, that's what I'm hearing. Like very cool, 9.9 on the CPU percentage. So for the collective, because I do still want to have fun here with you guys. Like everything's been so heavy lately, guys. Like if you need a break from me, if you need a break from this channel, like take it. That's totally fine. Like it's like guys, like we got to process all this information together. Like, and I mean together. Like I have to like process all of it. Because I have to, right? But maybe like space out the readings, because like I know everything in these readings are very heavy, and it might not like you might not realize how like fast you're evolving spiritually, and it's like when you do that, I've experienced it before, when you're like evolving like for like a week straight, right? The moment you're like out of that evolution, it's kind of like a big like come down, like a big, you could say like buzz kill of evolving, to where it's like like how do I get back? And like it's like it's important to rest. Just like got a little download saying that 117 on the timer. It's important to rest spiritually from revelations. Like let me be the you could say like the guinea pig of going through all this with spirit, and being this giver dragon. Like let me do the shadow work for you. Let me really have to be in that forge for a long time, and take breaks if you need to. Wow. See, awesome. So I just watched the ending of episode 2 of the Seventh Prince season 2, and this is exactly it. Magician. One second. Magician of prophecy with 2 familiars, and one's a demon, one's an angel. And funny enough, like in this case, the personalities are like totally switched. It's very funny. But again, you are that magician of prophecy. That's like really what I'm hearing. This ultra human in the abyss, in this abyss, right? And you think of like the abyss, and it's like some like Mariana Trench. Like no, this planet is like the abyss, right? But it's a very beautiful, stunning, nurturing, motherly abyss. So, like how do I say this? Like the abyss, if it can like look back and wink back, if the void stares back, it's like with a smile on its face that we're here, and clearing the energy of, again, those like evil and old beings that have never wanted humanity to awaken. They've always wanted them to keep silent about all of this, right? But like we're this like new generation of duelists. That's what I'm hearing. 9.9 on the percentage that is, dueling, you could say to like let source be known, and that source is joy, and like we're all putting in such great effort, right? It's like how do I say this? Rock Lee's effort, right? And I heard like Dagoth It's like it's like that's what I do play Skyrim with a Dagoth follower mod, and it's like like that person just makes you laugh. It's like it's like a people, how would I say this? The heating up, like those beings, they want you to the last thing they want you to do is laugh, because they know how much it heals you. They need you in despair. So never give them that time of day. Always be in my spirit. And what is being in my spirit? Christ says, being in high spirits, being in joy. Like again, like that joy is source. So understand that, and never let anything like take you down spiritually. This has been your reading. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for processing this all with me. And I promise you, like you can watch one of the readings every month, like just one, right? And I would still consider you like part of like my spiritual family, like by blood, even like crazy, like blood rituals, like Killua and his dad. I'll never betray my friends, kind of thing. It's like I love you guys that much. So if you do need a break, if you need like a break to process all of this, just like bookmark it. And even if like you don't watch, like even if you watch like one of every 10 videos, I'm sure that it would be the perfect time for you to see one. And that's the thing. It's like I'm kind of like, you could say like defaming my channel of like terms of like getting more views and getting out there, but it's like that's how much I care about you guys. Like I don't care about I love like seeing the subscriber count go up. It's very fun, and the views and likes go up, but my true goal is to not only keep you guys healthy, but keep you guys strong. And just like bodybuilding, just like anything, you work hard and then you rest, right? So if you feel like you need a rest, do it. But again, like, we are like a collective Lloyd. And what does Lloyd do? Like, what is Lloyd's like life purpose? Finding new magic. So don't feel bad if you're like almost like binge watching these sometimes, like, because you can. And again, whenever like I used it after the interview to like gain all my power back after Spirit literally told me you lost all your power. And I'm like, dang, like, it's like you not being you. When you don't feel like you, use these videos. And if you're a Lloyd, if you're like a fellow Lloyd, like, let's like keep going crazy every day, 3 to 4 to 5 readings, videos, understandings. We can have discussions. Like, someone was just commenting about having the same like everything like being here to show us that like life is what you make it, good and evil is what you make it. And like I think everyone's opinion really matters. Everyone's opinion, everyone's comment, like them feeling called to comment something like that. I think it really matters for other people to see and not have it just be my opinion, but everyone's opinion together. It's like we're all understanding in even a different way, using scripture, not using scripture, using anime, using songs, using anything. It's like we all understand that there's so much to find in everything. In the main mission, like the reason why we're here is to tell everyone good and evil is what you make of it. And you could say God would judge your character off what you judge to be good and evil. Wow, wow, wow. I'm looking at 3 balloons on this like beautiful I'll show you guys. Like when I started renting this place, how funny is that art? And like I'm like the rabbit, like holding the Father, Son, Holy Spirit wherever I go. So it's like they made me look right at that, and I think they really wanted to say that, like, yes, that's like right on point. So I could keep going forever, but it's like like I could go in on this abyss. I could like take you guys down to into this abyss for like 5 hours. But one more card. It's my turn, everyone. Draw. Yes, that is why we're sent here. So, wait a minute. Boom. Like, we were sent here because, like, not to become, because we are sorcerers. Because we are, like, maximum heaven, you could say. Like, maximum magicka. Awesome. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the kind words, all the discussions, all even, like, all even you could say like the if you guys have anything that like you don't agree with, like I agree with you guys, putting out whatever you feel. So comment away, like discuss away. I want this to be like a family though, so it's like let's not we don't have to fight each other, you guys. We have to like create division within the family. Like that's Christ's job. That's Christ what he needs to do with the church, you could say. So it's like we are a spiritual family, but like we can discuss anything here. And I'm like all for it. I'm no matter, even if like you hate what I'm saying, even if you love what I'm saying, I'm here to discuss it all and be a vibration of, well, this is what we make it. So like whatever we make, it's like that's who we are together. So I love you all. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being part of this beautiful community. I'm gonna put a poll later of the first anime watch. So be on the lookout for that. I'll think of one more anime when I'm at the gym. I love you all. Please take care.